And we are live. Hi, welcome back to our Devstream. It's me, Isa here, and we're gonna talk about the mid-season update that just launched yesterday. We're gonna answer your questions that we gathered on some of the threads. We're gonna engage you with the chat, and of course, your favorite drops are enabled. We've learned from our last one, so we've tried to launch them this time for a bit of longer time, so everyone can get them, and we have some exclusive one. So please keep me updated in the chat if everything is okay with the drops, if it's working, if the audio is good, if the video is good, if everything is great, if we're ready to start, and we will get into it. All right, and today I have our usual guest, Sam. Hi, Sam.
Hello, it's always nice to be back. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the globe. We're happy to be here to give another update again on the mid-season update. So I think the patch itself is quite sizable.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to talk about today. Yeah.
Yep, and it's actually pretty, like when I read the patch notes, it doesn't look like it's a mid-season update.
Yeah,
it looks way
yeah.
longer than the usual mid-season ones.
Well, I mean, we are launching it in December. It's Christmas, so we've brought the presents out with we're being Santa Claus this time around. But yeah, chat. Let us know what you think about the 3.1 update so far, and what are the most exciting things that you have seen in game.
Yep. And by the way, someone said that the hat is awesome. Do you know that he made this by himself? This Skull and Bones logo. Did you make it overnight?
No. I made it with my girlfriend. So
Okay.
we tried to make like a gingerbread cookie kind of thing.
That's so cool.
It's like felt, but yeah, I try and make it a bit more interesting this time around. And because I think it may be our last stream of the year.
Yep, most
So
likely.
it's definitely got to do something before Christmas itself.
Yes. All right. And we also have our Siddharth playing the game today. Hi, Siddharth. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm alive.
Alive. What are you going to show us today?
There's a really nice pre-rolled Nashkar which I am going to farm today at the expense of having a very boring stream. So yeah, bear with me while I just farm Azure event for a bit.
All right, cool. And we're all set to go. Chat, you can put your questions in the chat. We'll try to answer. But for now, let's go over what's new in this season, Sam.
Right, so Sid mentioned earlier there's the Azure event. I think a bunch of us in the dev team as well, we know that there are some good roles in weapons for the Azure stream. So actually we started grinding a little bit on that. We have the Faction War Ascended Elite event, so it's a new way for you to get war assets and contribute to your faction in the Faction War. And we have a few other things like the Water Spout, which was supposed to be out for Season 3, but we took some extra time to polish it. I tried it, it's amazing. And we have a lot of quality of life updates, which will make the gameplay experience smoother. So yeah, we can cover a lot of those in more detail, and hopefully I'll be able to provide some behind the scenes or dev insights as well.
Yep, definitely. Actually, after we've released the patch note, I saw a little bit of confusion about year end and then the year 3. What are the timings about the season? Because right now it's the end of 2025, but the game year 3 is going to start later than that, right? Maybe you could give us a little bit behind the scenes to explain what's the logic behind our years.
Right, so just like financial years, we're kind of offset. We released the game in February last year, and we started year 1, season 1, towards the early part of March last year.
Right.
And so then we launched year 2 with in April, but generally why this is a bit more desynchronized with the calendar is because we want to also position the releases where it makes sense, and so sometimes we adjust the timings of the season, and all these adjustments tend to have an impact on the technical, like this is year 3 season 1. But what we'll always have is the founding event. So the founding event will come back to celebrate the actual year 2 release. So that will come in earlier than year 3 season 1.
Right. And actually there was a question about season 4. So the season 4 will come around February. at this
Yes.
point. But the question was, could Season 4 be brought forward by about 20 days or better? Could you release the Corvette as Christmas present?
Yeah, so actually season 4 with the patch notes we pushed it back by a week. Also due to certain considerations like the holiday period, whereby there's just generally people visiting their home countries and just taking a bit of time off. But we're still very busy here in the studio, releasing update after update. We have I think one more plan, nothing too major, but we are still hard at work here for season 4 as well as year 3 season 1.
Yep. So stay tuned, and we'll be releasing all the information gradually and about the new content as well. We'll share some information about the Corvette and some of the, let's say, sneak peeks slightly later. So stay tuned. But for now, I really want to talk about this mid-season update, and I think a lot of positive reactions we've got were regarding the quality of life changes, especially the filters, the item management. Maybe you can cover a bit more what's done and what's maybe planned in the future.
Right. So based on what the community has been telling us as well, when we ask, okay, what are the quality of life updates that you'd like to see, and when we gather all of the responses and categorize them, item management still ranks as our highest priority. So we've done some improvements in the past. We've done a quick increase in cargo space, but what we are also trying to continue working on is making the experience a bit smoother, so that when you go out, sink ships, and you have a full cargo, when you come back, how can you manage your equipment better? How do you find equipment to ascend? What do you throw? How do you mark multiple items to put in your warehouse? So there are a lot of different considerations. There are a lot of improvements that we have on our backlog, and we're trying to get to them as we go along, while balancing the seasonal content, delivering new events for Faction War, delivering the Corvette, and so there's a lot of different things at play. We need to prioritize accordingly. But this time round, what we have for the mid-season update is that we have the filter tabs, which has been something that people have been asking for quite some time now. Initially, this was planned for year 2 season 4, and but we decided to accelerate the development a bit faster, so that you guys will have it during the holiday period, and it just makes things easier. If we have a quality of life improvement that we can push for, you can bring it earlier on, why wait, right? Because that will improve the comfort. So that is one of the improvements. And also we have the auto, not the auto, but the mass salvage. At the blacksmith. So that makes it a bit easier when you collect all the ascended equipment as loot. You can select all of them and then recycle them. And finally, we have the inventory chest improvements, which would allow you to open multiple chests at once. We know that the Azure chests don't have this treatment, but we'll patch it soon.
Okay, cool. Guys, let us know in the chat how you're finding this quarter of life updates that Sam just mentioned. But so far from there, I see that people are enjoying this one pretty much. And if we move to another content of season 3, I know that the Azure event was already there back then, right? But can you maybe give us a little bit more of overviews who've never tried this event before?
Right. So for the Azure event, it's an improvement over what we've released in the past. So you need to kind of use flares to summon the bosses, and when you summon the bosses, first you need a fire weapon. So that's something that I think a lot of people on Discord and Reddit have mentioned as well. There are some people that are kind of struggling with the barrier. Using a weapon with the fire type will kind of melt the barrier quite quickly, so to speak. So when I played a few rounds yesterday as well, I think at the start of the fight, the barrier is already almost gone quite quickly. But if you have the right element, right? And once you progress in the fight, the figurehead would appear, and the weak points will appear. You have to destroy them so that the ship is no longer immune. So one run, if played with your friends and with other people on the server, it's kind of quick. and you can kind of get rewards from those and bring them to the Azure lodestone in the two different dens. And two different dens? I'm not sure. I think I know there's one in St. Anne. And you can redeem them for quite good rewards, right? There's a bunch of chests, and there's also a bunch of materials which you can redeem them for. And there's also the vanity set in the store. So Sid here on the stream now has it's opening up the cargo and warehouse. You can kind of see the different inventory tabs. The cool thing about it is that you can mark one in a category, and then after that select mark all. That will kind of mark all within that category itself, and so you can transfer everything from that category into the warehouse or vice versa. And if you tap after you have marked all the items, the marking kind of stays. So you can kind of mark all in one tab, mark all in another tab, and hopefully this improvement helps you find your equipment faster. I know I just, when I come to the dock, I go to the crafting tab, I select everything, I throw everything into the warehouse, while leaving all of my ammo and repair kits intact. So that's quite useful improvement. So back to the Azure event, you can redeem those rewards for you can redeem the gems for rewards, and this time round we have also added a convoy event, so you don't have to summon the flare. That's something that you can engage with as well. So hopefully you guys find the Azure event fun. I think it was really chaotic when I had 12, 13 people on my server trying to repeatedly farm the Azure event.
And items changes appreciated. I see the comment. Another thing that added in mid-season is water spout, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we can talk about this a bit.
Right. So the water spout actually was born from we want to have some cool effects in sea in the sea, but we also didn't want to be purely cosmetic, right?
No, okay.
So we wanted to also add some depth to the gameplay there, but keep it fully optional for players to engage with. So balancing all of this is kind of a tough act. And then when you have forces that pull ships and all that, it gets kind of tricky technically as well, especially for an online game. So with the water spout, now it will spawn in the ocean and will gradually move from location to location, just very slowly. And if you go very close to the water spout, you will get sucked into a water spout even more, and you will get the flooding effect stacked onto you pretty quickly. But however, if you're good at maneuvering, you can actually use the outer rim of the water spout to kind of slingshot your way into a different direction, or just get a speed boost. AI is also now affected by the water spout, so you can kind of bait them and lure them into the center area, which you can use a mortar or use rockets or any AoE attack to kind of destroy them quite efficiently.
Awesome. I see a comment saying water spout pretty cool. Can we have more stuff like this?
Of course. So there were a lot of other ideas for weather phenomena that we thought would be pretty cool to add into a game, and not be disruptive at the same time. So still on the cards, us re-looking at how the lightning can be a bit more impactful and less of an annoyance. Full disclosure, we haven't really started that deep of a work into all of these, but we did previously discuss volcanoes as well. So anything is possible. If that's something that the community would really like to see, that's something that would go up a bit higher on our priority list.
I just wonder, when you guys discuss this kind of stuff, was there any really wild ideas, or volcano was the wildest one so far?
I think the first one was the water spout. It was something that was more feasible. Volcanoes, we have to consider, okay, where are we going to spawn the volcanoes? Are they going to pop out of nowhere? Are they going to be undersea ocean volcanoes? So there's a lot of things to consider. We already have the lightning, so I think those are the ones that we really talk about. Yeah.
Oh, people are hyped about volcanoes, I see. Yeah, but one thing actually, when we did announce the water spout might come in season 3 in the beginning, a lot of people were like, okay, the weather hazard is already sometimes annoying for some of people. Why are you adding more? So I think we need to say that the goal here is not to add more challenges to you, but
Yes.
more of a dynamic and maybe strategic elements that you can use to your advantage.
Yep.
When you play the game.
Yep.
All right, cool. Let's.
Okay, I see whirlpools. Whirlpools, it's no comment. You can make what you.
All right. Okay, I think I want to move to maybe answering some questions that we've received from the threads when we announced the stream. And I see some of the questions are actually about the faction war, because season 3 was the first season when it's just launched. People are getting their hand on it. So the first question was that will there be any faction war events added in the future to allow for more ways to gain more assets?
Yes, so like in the mid-season update that we've released yesterday or today, whichever, wherever you are on the planet, we are trying to add more ways for you to gain war assets. So it's also giving you more ways to participate in the war based on the activities that you like. So currently now we have the war cargo, which is improved cutthroat cargo that's really for the faction war. We have the fort defense. We also have the war convoys, and now with this update we have the ascended elites. So we're trying to bring back a lot of the activities that players really enjoyed in year 1 and year 2, and try and see how the faction war can kind of tie we can kind of tie faction war into all of those, so you won't feel as though, oh, I have to do this activity that I don't really like just to get war assets. We want to give players the option to, like, I enjoy this activity, let me gain more assets through this as well. So one thing that we have announced already previously, but we can share again, is that we are trying to look at some tie-ins to the helm as well, for faction war. So you could be able to get war assets from the helm too.
Yep. And then actually in season 4 we're having this new feature that we've mentioned right before, which is tutorial control. We've kind of mentioned that what is it about is that the map will make more sense. You will fight for the map later than for the assets. Maybe you can give us a little bit of overview of that as well.
So today what we have as a base in faction war is we have the contested territories. And so the contested territories so far are only areas in which you will contest, right? So events will spawn there, ships will spawn there, and events will spawn there as well. But what we want to do is make the contested territories matter a lot more, so that people can fight over them based on what they want. So for example, you could get certain benefits if your faction does actually capture that territory. So it will matter more than just, if we capture the territory, we would just get an additional reward in the reward track. Now in addition to that, you would have some sort of benefit that helps you throughout the season as well. So that's something that players would really be gunning for.
Actually, after the season 3 launch, we've been really closely monitoring all the feedback, and we've already communicated in the dev diary that we published recently that we see the main concerns about the faction war. It's either the rewards or more events. But I think what we want to say here is that the faction war is still in its iteration stage. We launched it. It's the very first founding layer, and we're seeing your feedback. So it's going to be built upon gradually. So sometimes maybe some things you might, I think now the main thing is that players don't feel motivated enough to go and fight and engage the events. So we see those comments as well, and we are trying for exploring different ways. How do we motivate? It's either through rewards or through, again, the helm ties in the future. But so please keep your feedback coming in, but keep in mind that it's still in its iteration stage together with our community.
Yep, it's something that we want to continue building upon for sure. So it's something that the team is also fully committed to delivering faction war updates season on season. So we do have a faction war. We have some plans for faction war in year 3 season 1, year 3 season 2 as well. But based on your feedback, we might be able to make some adjustments to bring some things earlier and maybe deprioritize some things that don't really matter that much. Yeah.
Yes, and actually there is one question, I think it was on Reddit. It's about the war cargo event of the faction war. Could we do something about the frequency of ambushers while we're doing the war cargo?
Right. So the frequency can definitely be looked at. I think this is the first time that we are seeing this feedback. Really, we tried to make the ambushes this time round a bit easier to deal with. So you have they have weak points now. So that would make it a bit easier for you to clear. In the past, I tried it as well. It was a bit tough as well because there's no weak points, right? So it took quite some time to destroy the fleet. But hopefully with this improvement, it does help in taking them down faster. Yeah.
And while we're on the faction war topic, I think you said that you were DMC, right?
Yeah, I'm DMC.
How you feel? How you feel about it?
I think it's great. So far, I think we are
I think now
doing
you
less than
yes.
We're doing less than like slightly worse than expected. So I think for all the people that have pledged allegiance to the DMC, everyone has to kind of spend a bit more time and get those territories. And I mean, I logged in the game last night, and it seems like the CIO has joined the faction war in the form of Human Twins. It's a bit hilarious. I saw someone on Reddit post as well, like this is the true faction war. But be reassured, we are already working on a fix to get it resolved for the Infinite Arman and Bertrands as soon as possible.
Right, but I want to ask the chat, guys, if we have a little interaction, DMC or a company. I just want to see what's the ratio in the chat here, because we have the state of war where we can see the current status of the war. But I think one thing that made the prod team here also surprised that from the beginning, it was pretty much evenly split, right? The DMC and company.
Yep. So it's a it's a bit funny because one of the issues when we reviewed all the feedback for faction war, and we are planning all of the things for the next faction war as well, is that now we wanted the fight to be even before we launch the game, and the problem is the fight is a bit too even currently in the sense that when there are two contested territories, you know, like the DMC and the company just form an unofficial, you know, sign a treaty or something. It's like, okay, you take one, I take one, and it's mostly related to kind of the base spawns in the world as well. You know, in the East Indies there are more DMC ships, so the company has more chance, more opportunities to kind of gain those. So one thing that we are doing with the next season as well is we are trying to make the contested territories a bit less even. So instead of starting with 2 territories, we start with 3. So either way, one side would gain control over 2 territories, and one side would gain 1 territory. So it will be less of a truce, I would say, and we really have to fight for the last remaining territory. Yeah.
All right. Do we want to see for more questions that were asked before on Reddit? I see actually in the chat a lot of people are asking for the roadmap of the year 3, and there were some questions. Please stay tuned again. For the year 3 roadmap, we definitely gonna announce what's coming in year 3. Year 3, as we said, we announced that we will focus on the core gameplay, right?
Yeah.
With more on quality of life. The naval combat is the core of the Skull and Bones, and that's where our focus is going to be for the year 3 as well. So please stay tuned. We're going to share more information in the future, but probably I would say maybe during season 4 launch, because I think right now what we want to do is warm up for the season 4. We're going to share more information on this, and after that the year 3 content, so look forward to that for sure.
Yep. I think the team as well is very excited about year 3. There are already things in progress, well in development for year 3. We kind of want a head start on that. But I think it's also important for us to ensure that the live game on season 3 and the upcoming season in season 4 is also stable. It's also so we try and do fixes as often as possible, try and bring quality of life improvements while we still continue managing the development of season 4 and year 3 as well.
Yes, yes. So there was a lot of questions about the land combat as well, right, in the chat. We've already mentioned that before on the streams and then during the dev virus that the land combat is on hold for now while we focus on improving the core game experience, because we want to make the faction war right first, put all our resources on that, and then see what comes with the year 3 roadmap.
That's correct. Land combat is not dead.
Yep.
It's on hold and it's deprioritized so that we can focus and prioritize on the things that really matter. For example, like, you know, trying to push all these QOL updates as soon as possible, because let's say if we were to work on land combat, then the resources would really be devoted there, and we can't deliver these improvements or fixes as fast as we want. So our game plan now is to try and get things right, solidify it, make naval combat better, expand on the faction war, and then we can kind of take a look what we can then push beyond what we currently have. So be it map expansion or land combat, that's something that we can definitely hop back to. So it's not gone. All the development work that has gone on so far, it's kind of shelved one side, and we still take a look at it time to time and evaluate when would be a feasible time where we can bring it back. Right.
All right. Let's see what other questions do we have. Maybe you want to see in the chat, or you want to see the pre-submitted questions. One question there was, so why would you remove the boarding cinematic?
Right. So I think the team is also was initially kind of on that as well, because we know that the boarding cinematic is kind of cool. It for me personally, when I board a ship, the cinematic plays and I can rest my fingers for a bit before I start spamming the fire button again, right? So I thought it was a nice pace as well. But one of the things that we also saw was that it does create a bit of friction as well. You are vulnerable during the boarding. It's kind of tough for you to land that bond, that grappling hook, and it doesn't provide that interesting rewards, and it kind of locks your camera and all that. So when we weighed the pros and cons, we decided that, you know, in order to improve the pacing and remove the friction there, we decided to kind of change boarding into what we call the crew finisher now. So I've seen comments. It's people appreciate the removal of the cutscene, because they like the cutscene, but they also understand that it complicates some things, and you don't get some things. And what this does is that by rebranding it into a crew finisher, we open the door of possibilities to have potentially different crew finishers in the future, different crew abilities, or perhaps even something that people would recognize as a true boarding. But all of these are still very early talks, and we are trying to see what this can open up for us.
Right. Actually, looking at the chat and looking at the previous questions, a lot of people are asking about the leaderboards and just in general, how do we make the game more competitive? Do we have anything on that for the future?
I think it's always cool to see leaderboards. I for one want to see who is contributing really well on the DMC side of things, as well as the CIO front of things. So I know, who to recognize for all of the efforts and pulling their weight. But it comes again at the cost of something, right? When we talk about production and we kind of look at how we want to provide the most value to players, we need to prioritize things accordingly. So when it comes to the faction war, it could be, do we want leaderboards or do we want new events? And that's a choice that's really tough to make sometimes. But we hear you, and it's something that I also personally want, which are leaderboards for more things. So we may see some improvements down the road. It's something that it's been frequently talked about internally as well.
All right. One thing that I want to talk about is that we've mentioned that the year 3 plans or sneak peeks will be shared in the future. But is there anything you can share with us about the ships?
So for the ships, I think for the year 3 ships, maybe for year 3 season 1, I don't think we can share too much about it. But I think 7 is a good number.
7 is a good number.
7 is a good number for
whatever
that.
that means, chat. we can make your guesses. While we are on the ships topic, so season 4 is coming soon. Someone asked if we can make a Christmas present and launch season 4 way earlier and present a Corvette to everyone. While we cannot do that, but we can share a bit more details about the Corvette, right? And we have a little bit teases of the pictures and screenshots of how current version of it. It's still work in progress, but looks in the game. If we can cue some of the pictures, and maybe Sam can walk us through some of the details of it.
Yep. So we previously showed a very early draft of the Corvette. Now you can kind of see some of the new screen grabs that we have work in progress for sure. But the Corvette is a semi-support class and semi-DPS class, and one of the things that we feel confident about its ability to kind of match up with the frigate in terms of damage output as well, in terms of gun ports, and also in terms of being able to support other ships as well. So when we look at ships and we look at the classes for tank, support, DPS, when we look at the fact that you have to clear activities and sometimes alone, we want to try and move slightly, not completely, away from the usual categories of tank, DPS, and support. Because if you're pure support and you only bring healing weapons and you only bring things that kind of disrupt your enemy, like the frigate and taunt and all that, you still have to kill the ships. You still have to sink the ships. And so there's some aspect of DPS in all the different ships. So we want to try and move away from that strict classification and try and move towards a more fluid, more soft classification of these kind of ships. So you can find ways in which you can play the game your way, right? And there's things already in progress for year 3. Things that are in development that allow you to have more flexibility in developing your build as well. So it's something that I'm personally very excited because I'm leading the team doing this. The team is also very motivated and it's exciting. So it's still some time down the line. We still have season 4 to go before we get into year 3 season 1. So again, we want to make sure that season 4 is stable while we balance all of these.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna look at the chat actually. We've been answering some of the questions submitted before on Reddit, but if you want your questions answered, it's your time. Any skin for a small ship planned? I see that question.
Skin for a small ship. I think again there has been a couple of surveys that have been pushed out. There's community polls as well, asking which ship you would like to see have a ship skin. And ship skin is something that we've added in year 2, and we are trying to make sure that we deliver ship skins on a very regular basis. So for year 2 season 4, you also have a ship skin. Yeah. And I think again,
can we say which one or not yet?
Again, 7 is a good number. So I think during this holiday period and going into year 3, I think 7 is a pretty good number. So
it seems like it's a favorite number for Sam. All right. Corvette looks beautiful. Can't wait. Will it be possible to get old customizations? Question.
All customizations, in what sense? All customizations? Is it
that
more
was the question. Maybe we can ask
more
for some more
customizations
context.
or more cosmetic customizations? So if we are looking at let's say we look at two different categories, right? Gameplay and aesthetics. For aesthetics itself, we have been releasing new customization types, and also even in this Azure event, now you can upgrade some of those figurehead cosmetics as well. I know people have been asking for the pennant, the top sail to be customized. I've passed that feedback on. So it's something that we are looking into. But new customization types is always something that we want to always add on. And in year 2 itself, we did quite a few of those. It's something that we'll continue improving. In terms of gameplay customizations, like I mentioned earlier, we are working on something for year 3. So that would be quite expansive. So we hope that you'll look forward to that when we announce it as well.
Okay. Someone says Siddharth died.
So Siddharth was mentioning that he could have, like before the stream, he mentioned that he soloed the new elite events for Faction War like without dying, while I died yesterday, and so
I was like farming like 5 of these straight back to back, and I got complacent and stopped looking at my health bar. It happens once in a while.
All right. Actually, I think 3 words that I see the most in this chat is guilds, map expansion, and warehouse slots. Do you have anything to say about that?
So inventory management again.
Yeah.
There are 2 ways to approach it. One is loosening the belt, which is basically adding more slots.
Yeah.
And another way of kind of looking at these improvements is how can we make improvements to make sure that management is easier. Because let's say if you have like 10,000 slots, right? Then searching for your item is a bit impossible. Anyways, you'll be scrolling a lot of different items. I know there's a request. We did increase the amount of cargo slots in the ship, so your game loop sort of out at sea when you're doing activities can last a bit longer. But rather than cargo slots, which in reality does have an impact on our infrastructure as well, is tell us why the cargo slots, why warehouse slots are really needed. We want to try and address the root cause behind it. So it could be like what I've seen in the chat so far is that ascended weapons and armor take up a lot of space, and so how can we address that issue to allow players to get what they want while not necessarily taking one course of action. So we want to look at all the different options and ways in which we can address the problem, but we also need to understand a bit more on the root causes of those. So let us know why you would like to see more cargo slots, and what are the other issues that we can kind of address together with that.
I think map expansion, we've already mentioned that multiple times in the dev stream already, right? What's the current status on this one?
Yeah, the map expansion as well, I think falls under the same category as land combat. It's something that we have worked on before. It's something that that's currently on hold, but we want to focus on the naval combat first. So I'm not kidding, there's actual work that has been poured into that, and it's something that we still want to deliver, but given the cost, given the value, how can we bring the most value to players in the shortest amount of time possible, so that you don't have to wait too long for something, and that's a balance that we need to kind of keep.
All right. I saw the question asking, I think Spam was asking, where is Alexi? Alexi is here. Alexi is alive. Maybe he's watching this stream. I'm not sure. But let's get him back for our next stream. I think community is missing Alexi, right? Chat, can you please say, Alexi, come back? And I have a proof that community wants him back. So he'll be coming back on the stream. All right. What else we can talk about? Just the questions it's a lot of questions in the chat. I think let me Let me see which one we can address, but also let's look at the ones that were submitted before. So the question is, can we please have the option of choosing what is displayed on the screen? I think it comes to when it comes to UI, right? UI and UX. I think a lot of work is being done for year 3, season 1, in terms of UI. Do you have anything on that?
I think for UI, it's something that we have been constantly optimizing. In fact, just quite some time ago, I did take a look at the very first streams that we did for Skull and Bones back in 2023.
Okay.
Before we release, and really the UI has changed very significantly. We have a mini map now. Things are less cluttered. Things are much more readable. Visually, it looks more polished as well. But again, in terms of UI, there are 1,001 things that we can take a look at. For example, we could always look at polishing the weapon carousel in the bottom. We could always look at polishing health bars. And there's always an endless list of items that we can look at. Tell us what you'd like to see. And then we can again prioritize it and make sure that the ones that the community wants are delivered as early as possible. So one of the things that has recently made it into the game with this update as well is the ability to kind of see the ship rank and participants in the activity on the map itself without needing to go through multiple menus, without needing to hover over all of the different events to kind of see the participant count. And when I was playing, it was very obvious that there were many players doing the Azure event, and I think that has been quite helpful so far. And it's finally out, right? So keep your feedback coming, especially when it comes to UI. Again, it would help if we had a bit more details on why do you feel certain changes are needed, and then we can look at all of the feedback in a holistic manner and address the feedback, because UI tends to be a bit subjective. Sometimes I would like this shifted a couple of pixels, and some people don't like that. So we need to see what are guaranteed wins and what are wins that we would like to take a more aggressive approach for the UI in general.
Definitely. Okay, the 2 questions that I see the most in the chat, I'm going to start with the first one about the officers, because I think we did announce that it's coming in year 2, right, during the year 2 showcase. But again, we had some refocus of the priorities along the year 2. But is there any news on that?
So for officers, not just yet. Again, there has been some work on it. Our initial plan was to kind of tie the officers together with land combat, so you would have missions whereby you save the officers. But given that land combat is now on hold, we want to also see how we can position officers. Would they just be a different slot in the ship? So like furniture. You can equip officers, but that kind of is a bit underwhelming. Based on what we have discussed so far, would you be able to talk to officers? Would you be able to interact with them? The scope can vary very rapidly. Of course, we can just slap a portrait and also some sort of effect into the game, but we want to make officers feel alive, and we want to make it count when it actually matters. So we are taking a slower approach to officers as well.
Yeah, I see the comments all about all the new stuff. I think one thing that we should know is that first of all, the resources on the prod side, right? That then when it comes to priorities, and second, we want to launch features when it makes sense and in a meaningful way, not just launch for the sake of launching, but how does it incorporate with the current ecosystem of the game. Correct. I think this is something that you guys need to keep in mind, and also what we want to do on our side as a community team, we want to keep you guys in the loop. So for sure you can ask your questions, and either through the live streams or either through the dev diaries. I think the main goal for us is to build the game together with you and keep you guys in the loop. What's coming, what are the ideas we're exploring, and so on.
Yep.
All right. Some questions, if we go for lighter ones, someone asked, could we get some Dutch shanties? And in general, if there are more shanties are coming in the game. One thing that I've kind of saw some sneak peeks of some new shanties. What can I say? One is related to hippo.
Hippo?
Hippo. One is related to something that we cannot yet name. So there were some shanties, but I'm not sure on which season exactly it is coming. But if I can get confirmation, we'll definitely tease those through either our social media or live stream. So keep an eye on that as well. I think another question that I saw is that, are we ever getting DPS large ship? Was the question. I know it's hard to answer.
So I know
with the yes or no, but
I know large ships is something that everyone loves, and given that we have started doing large ships in year 2 as well, we'll shift a bit of focus as well in year 3 to kind of deliver a bit more on large ships. So based on all the possible large ships that players have mentioned on Reddit and Discord, sometimes I take a look at some of the suggestions, then I chuckle a little bit because I know those are coming. So there are large ships that are coming in year 3, and it's quite a number. For now, in year 2, we're not yet ready to deliver a pure DPS ship, but we'll see in year 3. That's coming pretty soon, not too soon, but pretty soon. And again, like the year 2 season 4 Corvette, you'll definitely get a sneak peek of the year 3 ships before we even move into year 3 itself. So that's something that we also want to try and do with the community to kind of give more sneak peeks, get some more early opinions. We've shown the concept for Corvette earlier. We are showing more updates on Corvette now, and we'll aim to do the same with the year 3 ship. I almost mentioned it.
almost slipped.
Almost slipped.
A lot of things are coming in year 3. Just wait for some more news from us, and a lot of things will be about the core game experience. One thing I am very surprised of, we're almost 48 minutes into the stream and we haven't get a single comment about hippos or cheese, which I'm very surprised, because I think at some point some people would start commenting on that. Maybe we have not enough keepers in the chat at the moment. We'll see. One thing that I'm very curious about, are the drops working? Please let me know, because after every stream I go on Reddit and there are people that I wasn't able to get the drops, so please change the timing and all these. We see all those comments, and this time what we've tried to do, we've tried to configure the timing a little bit longer than the stream itself, so even though you join slightly later, you'll still be able to grab those. And after the stream ends, we'll still play maybe 20 minutes of end screen, just for you to be able to get your drops. So seems like it's working. We have some exclusive ones for now. Cool, I'm happy that it's working. All right. Siddharth, how are you doing?
I'm okay, I guess. I'm trying to not be complacent and keep looking at my health bar now, because you know how it gets when you're farming stuff.
Okay, cool. One thing about the streams as well, I know a lot of people want us to try different times, because not everyone is able to join during this time slot. We are exploring different ways. Either we sometimes alterate the timing, or we maybe replay some streams. But this is something definitely we know, we're aware of that comments, and we'll try to find a solution for that as well. It's just, I think for now what we're trying to do is we want to have a very stable stream schedule. We want to do more of them, definitely. We're trying to do different formats, and I think once that framework is set, we can try different timings and play with that. All right. Someone says, doing an awesome job, Siddharth.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it.
Okay, let me see if there are any questions that we have not answered yet.
I think there were a few questions about guilds, clans, and all
Yes.
that. For now, it's definitely still a consideration. It's still early. To be very honest, it's still very early. When we talk about guilds and clans, it's not a priority for us at the moment. Our priority is still ensuring that faction war is good and solid.
Yeah.
Right. When we have faction war a bit more stable, when we have much more activities that you can do with faction war, then that is something that now can you create your own faction, which is basically your clan, right? And how we can get that into the game as well. Yeah.
All right.
Will we include more Easter eggs and references in the game? Yes, that is. I think we have seen slightly more Easter eggs, and that's something that we are trying to try and sneak in a little bit more as well. Yep.
Someone is asking what was the cutscene with Blacksmith about, and I'm not sure.
So no spoilers. There was a cutscene that was added this time round. So go and give it a try. It's part of our contract. So go in and take a look and let us know what you think about that. Because one thing that we are trying to do with the narrative per se in our game is not to give you all the answers. It's to kind of hint at certain things, and also kind of make you think about what's going on in the game so far and what are the motivations of each characters. So I think it's nice to kind of see the blacksmith featured in a cutscene, because we in the past we've done things like Tianing, the seasonal bosses, but for somebody that you constantly visit to get your equipment ascended and salvaged, it's good to see some screen time for it as well. For new bosses, so I think that there's been a common theme that is in the chat that we can kind of talk about. It's kind of talking about the content and the features and how can we have new content to engage with, how can we have more power progression in the game. And so that's really one of the focuses in Year 3 Season 1, is to balance, to provide more playstyle variety and power progression for players, together with more challenges. So you always have something to fight against. You always have something that will challenge you, but you always have means to kind of overcome it your way. So that's the focus for Year 3 Season 1 for now. And we have shown this to just a very select amount of insiders so far, and it's shaping up well.
Okay. A lot of questions were also about, I see about Lucian Harrow. I think people got to know him in Season 3 and they want to know more about him. Will he reappear in future seasons?
He's still relevant. So he's someone that you'll continue to see still. Yeah.
All right, chat. Any word on the war junk? Okay, let's see, what other questions do we have? I see this question repeating a lot of time. Will the Skull and Bones Sail emblem ever be released again? I think with this, that's definitely something we can note. We need to check with the other teams for that, and maybe we can get back on this through some of the dev diaries we are launching.
Oh, we can talk about Dev Tides a little bit as well. With this update, we have tried to shake things up a little bit. So we have changed all the different maps and all of the different formats to 3v3. We know that group sizes increasing to 6 is something that you like to see as well. One of the reasons why when you play 6v6 on Dev Tides is a bit underwhelming is because you can group up with a group of 3, but you can't really select the other 3. Right? So for now, because there are a lot of different considerations, like updating the grouping flow, making sure that there's enough slots on the server so that your teammate can kind of join in. So we know that you want 6-player groups, but it's something that we are still working on. It won't be available too soon. But for now, Dev Tides, we have changed it to 3v3 so that at least you can control all. You can make sure that all of the teammates are people that you know in Dev Tides. Yeah.
All right. Let me see. What other questions do we have? Can we have more sails and pennants to our ships, like the Azure Solstice boss frigate?
Right, so it's a bit tough to kind of add more sails, especially on the sides, right? For all of the ships, like
Mhm.
how will it look like a on a Dao, right? And so what we're trying to do is we are looking at all of the feedback that you're providing,
Mhm.
and then we are looking at how we can integrate those into our future ships as well. So that would kind of save us a bit more time and resources, especially those people would either be working on the new ships or working on ship skins. So if we were to go back and revisit all of the different sales, then it will come at the cost of something. It is possible, but we feel like the best value that we can provide to players is to kind of incorporate those into the new ships that are coming out. And so keep your feedback coming based on your ship, based on what you see on the ships. And when we release the sneak peeks of the new ships, you can also let us know what you think about aesthetically on the ship, and that will give us a bit more freedom and time to kind of make some adjustments before they come out as well.
Actually, I think we have a lot of questions just regarding in general the MTX loadout, right?
Oh wait,
But
before that, I see. Are they looking at the faction banner blocking frigate scope? I believe that is fixed. So the faction banner pennant no longer blocks the spyglass on ship. But yeah, you were saying, sorry.
No, I was just saying that let us know what kind of other streams you guys want to have in the chat, because I think one of the ideas that we had, maybe bring some of the devs who work on all the emblems, all the art stuff in the game. Maybe that will be something you guys are curious about, because this stream is more about Q&A about the season 3, what's happening. Maybe we can deep dive in some of the futures of the game with the other devs, with the other teams as well. Just let us know what you want. All right, we are, I think, almost coming to an end, right? So season 3 is just midway. The season 3 mid-season update just launched yesterday. So I think while you guys are trying this new content, let us know what you think about it, and we'll be slowly starting to tease content that's coming in season 4 in a bit, maybe right after holidays. And I'm not sure if we're going to have another stream before the end of the year, but most likely no, because a lot of people are going to be on holidays, going back to visit their families. But what I want to say is that happy holidays if we don't have a stream. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I hope you guys have a great time with your loved ones. And Sam, is there anything you want to say at the end of our stream?
No, I think I hope you guys like the features that and the improvements that we're bringing in this mid-season update. We tried our best to kind of stuff it as much as possible. And I think the dev team is still working very, very hard on a lot of different things, and also on the Hubeck twins fix, right? That we are trying to get to you as soon as possible. I saw it mentioned again. But we'll also kind of take this opportunity to kind of wish everyone a very blessed Christmas and a happy New Year. If you like the game and if you really play the game day in day out, and because you meet up with families, you got the opportunity to kind of talk about the game to your friends. That's always a awesome opportunity to kind of share your experience on Skull and Bones as well. And of course, the team will still be working very hard to make sure that the servers are all up and operational. We are still working very hard on season 4 and year 3 season 1. So sometimes when I kind of see the Reddit posts for we appreciate you, and we appreciate all the changes that the devs are coming, it really does motivate us. It really does help us know that all of the effort that we're putting in is worth it, and it's actually impactful to players. Because for a live game, that's something that we want to do. We want to build a game with the community, and without the community, it's it's just our own game. We
Yeah.
don't want to make a game just for us. We want to make a game that everyone enjoys.
Cool. Siddharth, do you want to have any words at the end of the stream?
Yeah, sure. So again, I saw the question come many times and we've answered it twice, but the first thing Sam and I are doing after this is going and trying to figure out the Huback twins issue. So rest assured, like I'm literally talking about it with the team on the side while this is going on. So I understand it's not a great issue, but looking at it ASAP. So rest assured.
Yeah. So
It's like 11. Like our meeting to discuss about this is like
Yeah.
now.
It's
So
like
it started already.
So yeah, we're gonna go get on that right now. But yeah, thanks everyone, and have a good holiday. And again, remember, something comes up, use the bug reporter. I try to look at it as much as I can to see what's happening.
Yep.
And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool. Thank you so much for joining us today. Stay tuned. Definitely year 3 roadmap and all more information is coming soon. A lot of cool stuff are coming. We're just not ready to reveal everything yet, but some more things are coming. More information is coming. More communication is coming, and keep your feedback coming. Thank you so much for joining again. I think we had a great time, and bye-bye. See you next
Bye-bye.
time.
See you.
Bye.